Welcome to our lecture series on confidence interval. Till now, we have discussed about the meaning of confidence interval, what all are the applications of confidence interval in hypothesis testing, or you can say the estimating the range of parameter like mean and variance of a given population. Now, we are going to discuss about the specifics of calculating confidence interval of mean. Okay, so let us start course introduction. So let me give you a brief outline about what all things are you going to learn by the end of this chapter. In this chapter we are going to revise the concept of confidence interval. Okay, we are going to understand what is the meaning of confidence interval when we apply it for mean. Okay, and we will also look a example so that you can develop a problem solving skill for confidence interval. So consider that we take out a sample from a population having mean mu and variance sigma square, and the sample consists of size n with a mean x bar and variance s square. So what we do, based upon the data from the sample, we try to construct the confidence interval for the mean of the population. Okay, so we will construct a confidence interval of mu. How do we construct it? Based upon the data provided by sample. Okay. Now, when we try to construct a confidence interval for mean, we can use the z statistic as well as the t statistic depending upon whether we know the population variance or not. This we have also seen in our previous class. I am just trying to revise it so that you brush up the basic concepts required to estimate the confidence interval. Okay, remember the assumptions over here. This flowchart is valid if population is normal irrespective of the sample size. Okay, and this is also valid if the second assumption hold true, that is, if at all the population is not normal, then for large sample size this flowchart is valid because of the central limit theorem. Okay, because of central limit theorem. Why? Because central limit theorem makes the sampling distribution of sample mean as distributed as normal with a mean of mu and variance of sigma square divided by n. Okay, now let us see what do we understand by 95% confidence level or 99% confidence level or something like this. See, 99% confidence level, it means that we are 99% confident that our true population mean is going to lie between this value as shown over here, and same applies to 95% confidence level. 95% confidence level means that we are 95% confident that our population mean is going to lie within this range. As you can see from the graph, this is the standard normal distribution. So in order to estimate the 99% confidence level, what we have done, we should select the value of z in such a manner that it lies between minus 2.576 and 2.576. Why? Because when you see the z distribution table and you calculate the probability of z greater than 2.576, okay, it would come out to be 0.05%, that is here. So this area would come out to be 0.05%. Similarly, due to symmetrical nature of the curve, probability of Z less than minus 2.576 would also come out to be 0.05%. Okay, so from this curve we can estimate that the green shaded area would be 100% minus 2 times of 0.05%, that would 99%. Okay, so if our Z statistic which we have derived from the sample data, okay, Z statistic from sample data, if our Z statistic falls within this range, it is a case of 99% confidence level. Okay, so now solving this equation, just putting out the value of Z statistic, that is Z is x bar minus mu divided by sigma over root n. Okay, just putting the value we get this equation. Okay, and once we isolate mu we can easily get this equation. Okay, so this equation is the confidence interval of population mean, that is mu. Now similarly we have derived confidence interval in case of 95% confidence level. Okay, now one more thing I would like to touch upon. You can see from the graph that range of 99% confidence interval is greater than range of 95% confidence interval. Okay, this you can see from the graph also, as well as if you can see the range of confidence interval of population mean in both these cases, then you can figure out that 99% confidence interval has got higher range than 95% confidence interval. Now we are going to solve a numerical so that you can apply the concepts which we have studied in the previous slides. Here the average IQ of a sample of 50 university students was found to be 132. Calculate a symmetrical 95% confidence interval for the average IQ of university students, assuming that IQ are normally distributed. It is known from the previous studies that standard deviation of IQ among students is approximately 20. Okay, so first of all I should write the given data. X bar of 50 students is 132, that is the average of sample data. Okay, we know that sigma is equal to 20. Now we are asked to calculate a symmetrical 95% confidence interval. It is C is equal to 0.95, or you can say that alpha, that is level of significance, is 1 minus 0.95 is equal to 0.05. Okay, so now as we have learned that since the distribution is normal, and we know that in case of normal population distribution the sampling distribution of sample mean follows the normal distribution, and Z statistic, that is x bar minus mu divided by sigma over root n, follows the standard normal distribution. Okay, and we have seen from the previous slides that 95% confidence interval can be calculated from this equation, that is probability that Z is going to fall between plus 1.96 and minus 1.96 is equal to 0.95. Okay, so this value is Z. Okay, so just putting the value of Z in the given equation, that is minus 1.96 is less than x bar minus mu divided by sigma over root n, and it is less than plus 1.96. Now just inserting the values which is given in the question, that is x bar is 132, sigma is 20, and I forgot to write n is 50, since we have collected a sample of 50 university students, average IQ of 50 university students. Minus 1.96 less than 132 minus mu divided by 20 over root 50 is less than 1.96. Okay, so once you solve this equation, range of mu would come out to be, so this is the 95% confidence interval for average IQ of university students. Okay, so in the next class we will discuss an example of deriving confidence interval using t distribution, in which we would not be knowing the population variance. Okay, thank you, keep enjoying and keep watching YJ Data Science.